Hello, everyone, and welcome to Film Family. And today we'll be talking about The Lion King. So, what are you guys' initial thoughts?
I loved it. I like the first Lion King, and I thought it was
I think that we should start with that. Like, how sacred was the first Lion King for you? Because I only saw it actually once. The first
top
one.
of the top.
Yeah. See,
In terms of animation movies, there's very few I put above Lion King.
There are life principles that I have that come from that movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Lion
a
King's in the
foundation
top
to my
tier.
childhood, definitely.
Okay, so
I felt that it had a high bar to live up to.
yeah, especially because
And I was kind of saying like this movie's gonna suck because there's no way they can, without recreating the original Lion King, there's no way they can beat it and make it better. And I'm not saying that they did do that, but it's not a bad movie. I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean,
what they did with it.
objectively, it's not a bad movie because they did the exact same thing over again. But me personally, I didn't like this movie at all because it just felt like a rehash, but worse in every way. And when you do that, there seems like you have to ask yourself, why did you even make this movie? Like I said, it's not a horrible movie or anything, but it's just a movie that I really could have went without seeing, and I wouldn't have been any different because there's a better version of it that's the almost exact same movie.
interesting. Yeah, I think this movie was done to show what can be done, like a technical achievement. But in terms of why it needed to be done, I'm kind of on that same page too. Like, I'm a purist, so I don't believe in touching classics unless it's like no one will watch it because they don't watch animation. But people still do watch animation. But I mean, I thought it was very well done, so I can understand. I wasn't attached at all to it, so I actually enjoyed it because I didn't remember the story as much as you guys.
Yeah.
You guys probably remember.
Well, actually, I want to say I haven't even though I do really like Lion King, it's not a movie I've seen a lot either. I watched it when I was younger, and I don't think I've seen it in a very long time. But it's still a movie that
Then I'm the expert in this discussion.
Yeah, I mean,
it was
I
a
guess
very good movie
for the first time. But it's so. I mean, it's such a popular movie that you know a lot of stuff about it, even if you haven't seen it. And I always loved that movie. But this movie, just watching it, there's very few times where I felt like it even came close to the original. There was a couple scenes I really liked when Mufasa talked to Simba in the moonlight. Yeah, that was a good scene. And
the stars and all that.
Yeah, that was a really good scene. And there's probably one or two others, but most of the time I was just kind of sitting there I didn't need to watch this.
They did almost do like a scene for scene recreation of the film.
Yeah.
And I thought it worked a lot. My issue is I felt like some of the voice actors, I got that a lot of them are singers and they did a very good job singing the song. But I feel like sometimes that doesn't transfer well into voice acting. And I feel that they should have either gotten the voice actors who can sing, who are actually actors, or they should have had the singer sing and different actars for the voice.
I mean, that's actually a good point. But at the end of the day, I just think
It's a good point.
It should always be what's it called? It should always be the actors doing the singing because it's more important for an actor to have more relevance to the story than one song that lasts maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And as somebody who likes the Lion King soundtrack a lot, there's so many famous songs from it. I don't think they did any of the songs that well in this movie. There was maybe, I don't know, I mean, I guess the first song, Nazbenya or whatever it's called, Circle of Life, that was fine. Yeah. It wasn't even close to the original. And then everything else pale in comparison.
None of the songs were better than the original.
I was really disappointed with Candy Feel Love Tonight. I thought that was way worse than the original, which I really liked.
I felt like they tried to do too many, I don't know what they're called. I should, but where they go where they they make their where they make their voice go like that.
Oh, vibrato.
Yeah. When they try to do the vibrato, and I feel like they overdo it. Like they're like, can you feel the? It's like, all right, too much.
Yeah, no, I think the voice acting, a lot of the time it was really hard. To replace so many of the great originals. I think James Earl Jones coming back as Mufasa was by far the best decision they made. Yeah. He was excellent.
But even he sounded different, I think.
I mean, yeah, he got older, but he still sounded really good. His voice, it's very hard to replace. So I'm glad they brought him back. Chiwetel Ejiofor as Scar was probably the hardest shoes to fill because Jeremy Irons are so good in the original, and I think he did a serviceably good job, but he just didn't replace. He didn't have that menace. When he said "Long live the king," I didn't feel that evil menace that Scar had. So there's a lot of lines.
Why did they do that though? Let me ask you a question. Jeremy Irons is not dead, right?
No,
that's what I'm saying. So why wouldn't they? Like I don't understand that, and it's
That's
not
a good
only
question.
this; it's Disney animation in general. Like when they recreate it, live action.
There's a rumor that Mushu, who was played by Eddie Murphy in Mulan, is not coming back in the next one. And if he is,
Yeah, I
it's
heard
not
about
Eddie
that. That's not really cool.
I mean, yeah,
Because
but
he's like the whole best
whatever.
part about
It's
that.
their choice. They do what they want, but they
They're
should
just
have had Jeremy Irons.
iconic voices.
Yeah, maybe Jeremy Irons didn't want to do it. We don't obviously know. We're not on the inside, but whatever it was, it definitely hurt them for me. And I just thought there was never really a performance in this movie that was truly memorable, besides maybe Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner as Timon and Pumbaa. They were both very good. The music in this movie was really good, too. One of the best parts, Hans Zimmer came back, which I was happy with, because his original score is great. He won the Oscar for it. And that was probably, honestly, to me, the best part of this movie, because the soundtrack didn't really deliver, but the score was excellent.
Yeah.
And then one thing I am going to have to compliment is the CGI and just the animation in this movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's only one actual real shot in this movie, so to call it live action is even like it's not really live action. But the recreations of the African lands and the animals down to the last hair, they were all pretty authentic and pretty well done. And I wasn't even I don't really know the technicalities of it, but I wasn't even expecting it to be that detailed. So it was something that impressed me for the most part.
I forgot to mention I saw it in 3D.
Oh, really?
I decided that because I was like, if I'm gonna see it, I'm gonna see it in 3D because then it's a different experience than anything else would be. And that was a really smart choice on my end because then it separated it from the original anyway.
Yeah.
In that way. So yeah.
What did you think about Rafiki? The baboon.
He was not in the movie for long. He wasn't as important as...
Yeah, and he wasn't as funny either. Like, I really liked the original Rafiki's voice.
Yeah, and I think...
role.
I'm forgetting the name of the bird right now. The guy John Oliver played.
Yeah.
Oh, Zazu.
Zazu, yeah, thank you. Yeah, Zazu in this movie...
Was so ugly. I thought he was a toucan. I did not know that's what he was in the movie. He was kind of scary looking.
I mean, it's authentic real life. But, yeah, I mean, he was... I didn't really like him as much as I did from the original, and I thought John Oliver, he did a pretty good job, but I don't think it was it was quite at the level of the original. So yeah, that sounds like that's what a lot of this review's been made up, is us just saying something might not be bad, but when you compare it to something that's the exact same but better, then unfortunately it's not going to be that good. It's just one of those things where I was talking to somebody and they were just saying like, oh, think about all the kids who are going to grow up on this movie, and I was like, why do they have to? Everybody has Lion King on DVD. Just show your kid the Lion King.
At least show it to him first. Yeah, show him the classic first.
The way I would judge this movie is just saying like I would never watch it again, and I would never show my kid it because there's a movie that's just way better. That's the same movie. This movie, is it objectively bad? No, it's pretty solid, but it's just a movie like that really doesn't have much to it because it's just a lesser version of a far superior product. So
Interesting.
I'd probably give this movie a 7 out of 10. That's because objectively, I do think it's very impressive. But if it was like for me, it's probably like a 6 out of 10. But yeah,
I would give it an 8 because I had a high bar, or I had a pretty low bar for this movie, and it surpassed it in my opinion. And also, I just like the story of Lion King with the music.
Yeah.
So
Hamlet.
Yeah, I actually because I saw it in 3D, I definitely did like it a little more. I would give it an 8 as well. I really had a low bar, especially with the Rotten Tomatoes score, from the critics and stuff. I was expecting the worst, and it actually
it'll probably hit $1 billion. Disney's just making
printing money.
They're really printing their own money.
Printing money. Yeah.
Mickey bucks.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we talked about how the CGI looked and all that. I think Jon Favreau did a great job. It's just the thing is, you're going against a classic.
Yeah. I want to see his next movie be maybe a smaller movie. I want to see him go back to his roots a little bit.
Yeah.
He's very skilled.
He's one of my I love him as a director. So.
what did you guys think about Timon and Pumbaa? Because I heard everybody.
That's what I said. I thought they were the best part of the movie by far.
Oh, really? Okay.
I thought they were really good.
Yep.
They were great. The problem I had is that Seth Rogen sounds like Seth Rogen to me.
Yeah,
Like, that's the problem.
That's what some people said, but for me, that didn't really get it for me.
See, who played Timon?
See, that's what I want to
Billy
hear.
Eichner.
That's what you should say.
So
Who played?
I didn't really get him that much. I actually liked
liked
Seth
him.
Rogen as Pumbaa. I thought he was very funny.
I love Seth Rogen, but
There's
I
just
just
so
wish
many-
he would have altered his voice a little so it
Yeah.
did sound like
I
Seth
didn't
Rogen.
laugh like a lot in this movie. Like I didn't think the jokes landed, but almost every time they like made a joke, I laughed at least a little bit, or at least chuckled. Like
No, he was
But it's
great.
also just the dynamics between Timon and
yeah, but it was
as
great
characters,
humor.
You know what I mean?
It was really well done humor.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it on Lion King. I mean, any final thoughts?
Yeah,
What did you rate it?
I rated it an 8.
8, okay.
Yeah, I rated it a solid 8 as well.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know what you thought.
Don't
Let us
say
know what you
goodbye.
thought. Like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Take care.